That's it. No Dutch because he didn't ever pay.
No, he never did. He never
Ladies
did.
and gentlemen, this is the Star Maker Bolin Show. Warning, there will probably be some bad language. Maybe one or two bad words. So if you're easily offended, fuck off. There's one bad word. Also, the opinions expressed on this show by the hosts, co-hosts, guests, people in the chat, Coltrane, if he ever bothers to show up, are strictly their own opinions. They don't necessarily reflect those of our lovely fine sponsors, which include Bear Nose Pizza, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen, The Fish House, Two Rivers Family Restaurant, Main Event, and some McDonald's, not all of them.
Not all of them.
Don't
The
treat
specific
people well.
McDonald's is the one at the corner
One
of
of them
Taylorsville
does.
Road. Taylorsville Road and Bardstown Road is the one I frequent, among very few. And of course, Two Rivers out in Carroll County, Kentucky. Be going out there, probably not this weekend, but the weekend after, walking above ground permitting. Main Event. We haven't been to Main Event in quite some time. I should yank them. Popeye's Fried Chicken. I will be there. If not this weekend, probably this weekend. That's what we're looking at. Carrabba's, I need to schedule another appearance out there.
Come up with the appearance fee.
Really enjoyed it last time. And Bear Nose, you know what? Can't do Popeyes this weekend because I think I'm already scheduled to go to Bear Nose this weekend. There's only so many sponsors that you can cater when you're not in the hospital. True. Well, apparently nobody gives a shit if I'm alive or dead. We got 11 people. Yeah, we're not going to be here long tonight. Won't be here long tonight. Oh, well, I guess we can do.
Goodbye.
Yeah, they're all imaginary. We just made them all up.
There's no such thing as McDonald's.
Yeah, I wish we'd have made. Well, I think they're claiming that none of those people realize they're sponsors, I guess. Well, which would probably open me up to a lawsuit for posting their logo on here without their permission. Yeah.
If we wanted to do that, we would certainly pick different sponsors. Not that there's anything wrong with any of our fine sponsors.
They wouldn't all be restaurants.
That's right. We would have a broader variety.
But those are the ones that get the best benefit and the quickest benefit, and that's why I like.
They feed Kenny
restaurants, and they feed Kenny. So you got that.
And when you spend half your time in the hospital,
that is the first troll that we've had in God. And it's from other there's a lot of podcasts out there that brag about how many subscribers they have, and they ain't got sponsor one. So at least we have enough people that give a shit about us to put their name on our show. So, but just for the uneducated out there, and there's plenty of you, they could sue us for throwing their logo up on this show without their permission, and.
Yeah, I mean,
and if you're smart enough to know that, then I'm not talking to you.
There's no WWE logos on our show.
No, there's no WWE.
There's no AEW logos.
We are not sponsored by any of the wrestling companies. We are not, and probably will not be. I've heard there's going to be a write-in vote to put me into the WWE Hall of Fame. I said, well, you can save that ink. I said, you do have to remember the two people that I've called out the most for knowing shit, bad shit, and not suffering any consequences from it are Triple H and Stephanie. So no, they're and I don't think my old ex-friend who has a very let's face it, a very racist history, but it didn't keep Hogan out, did it? Is Hogan actually in the Hall of Fame? I guess
Hogan is in the Hall of Fame, and there was some talk when that tape first broke that they would remove him, but they did not.
They didn't even remove him then?
No. They sort of, kind of put it on the down low, but actually took him out.
So it's kind of like this lieutenant governor in North Carolina. You could just, rather than pull his funding and everything, you could just say, we denounce this shit. We don't want to be a part of this person anymore. No, they won't denounce them.
No, because they might win. I mean, there's actually
what happens?
I would win.
Well, he ain't gonna win. He was down 11 to 14 points before this hit, and I would say he didn't pick up a lot of voters. I wouldn't think, but not in North Carolina. I did find out today that North Carolina's voting population is 23% black. That is probably 10 to 11% above the national average. So
Yeah.
there is a chance.
North Carolina or South Carolina?
North Carolina. Now, South Carolina, I don't know, but that was the numbers I heard today on CNN about. You might not want to ignore North Carolina because the national average of black votes is 12%, and theirs is 23%. And a lot of those people are young, so we'll see how it goes. Facebook will only be with us because not one human being over there ever donates. So we'll be there a short period of time.
Are they really? Actually, South Carolina is 25% Black or African American. North Carolina, according to census.gov, is 12.4%.
Well, they said 23% of the voters is what they had said.
Oh, that could be. I mean, that could be registered.
Yeah, they said 23% of registered voters are Black is what they said. Yeah. The national population, and it's been this way for quite some time. It hadn't gone up or down a whole hell of a lot since I was in high school. It's been 10 to 12% for a long time. And then again, there's so many mixed. Well, sounding like I'm talking about dogs here. Mixed breeds since I was in high school. I mean, hell, the population in 1960 was a tiny fragment of what it is now. I think it was half or less. Yeah, thank you, dogs. It was half or less in 1960 what it is now. And so, yeah, things have dramatically changed. Scaramucci had pointed out the other day that I forgot how many millions of baby boomers have passed away, and then how many new younger registered voters. Let's see here.
Goodbye.
Well, we're two for two. I got my money from my friend Kenny. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Billy. We appreciate that. I am actually going to have to run a bit of a personal crusade on here. Whether I didn't even see what the crouching idiot said.
I didn't either. I just saw the name and killed him.
Pretty much enough. I mean, we can go in there because I forgot to monetize the show anyway. You want to go in there and just monetize it, and we'll just go ahead and make it subscribers only, however many weeks you want to put on it, and that should slow that shit up. Because we had a pretty good streak. Where we didn't have one troller for several weeks, and I'd left the show wide open. I think maybe they figured, oh, he's leaving the show. Oh my God, my life has meaning. My life has meaning, even though they don't know who I am. Yeah, there's only a handful.
Well, we kind of do know who you are, but
it's not kind of hard to narrow it down. But and then we're gonna we might be looking for a sponsor for StreamYard. Oh my God, I've been paying $10 a month for years now because I threatened to go away because I didn't want to pay $29.95 a month for what I was getting. And they said, well, if you don't go away, we'll give you everything you got now. But if you let us keep the StreamYard logo, as you notice, that is now gone. If you let us keep the StreamYard logo up, you can stay here for $10. And so I said, well, that's a deal. I don't give a fuck where you put your StreamYard logo. Sure, do that. And I'll pay the $10 and I'll stay. I ain't paying $30. Well, now, Bob, if you would like to educate us on what you've read up on.
Recently,
49 is the new price.
Yeah, recently the fine folks at Streamyard were sold to another company, and they have introduced a tremendous number of
features.
Well,
as a matter of fact, when we bring Coltrane in here, and I'm shocked he's here, it's
I don't have it set up.
He's got 99 excuses, and all of them are new.
I don't have that view set up for 3 people. So let's just do this. We could be
broadcasting
you have to
like that up.
Yeah, we could be broadcasting
you can show them. Well, there you go. So if you just pay us $39 more a month, you can do that.
You can have circles.
And you can broadcast in 1080p instead of 720p, which none of you all out there know the difference. Right. Most of you would barely notice the 4K difference.
Now we do have rounded edges on our. If you look at the rectangles that we're in, we now have rounded edges. So
they haven't always been rounded edges.
No, they've been square.
Oh well, you got to charge for that if you're going to round the edges.
Charging for stuff. Let's talk about the guy we charged to come on the air.
Yeah, we should charge him to even be seen here.
It's a
I mean,
privilege.
every show I keep looking for what the excuse is going to be tonight, and tonight was a new one.
That's the
And
fourth character.
it's I got 99 excuses, and all of them are new. So,
No, actually,
hey, but I did take care of you over on the Codan show, and they got a kick out of that. And
I appreciate
he actually read along, and
you knew exactly what you were talking about, didn't he?
my son also knew the quote because he had quoted it to me earlier that day that he did it to Gene Okerlund, but with the fuzzy hat.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Do you remember that? Yeah, and I've probably seen it and just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, because he did it every week. Because he had that I can't remember what her name was, like Miss Jones or something like that. It was towards the
all right.
Yeah, it was when the Nitro Girls were no more. They just kind of split them all up and managers.
Shawn Michaels married one of them. He married my favorite.
Who's that?
Shawn Michaels married my favorite Nitro Girl, and she was from Louisville. Did you know that?
I did not.
She must not have known I was available because I'm pretty sure she'd pick me over Shawn Michaels.
Especially at the time, Shawn, all that drugs and stuff.
Yeah. I was living the clean life, and I mean a real.
You were a straight edge before CM Punk.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is it? Punk claims to be
straight.
I think if you have tattoos, you shouldn't be considered straight edge.
It's not really straight. Maybe slightly less.
I think if you have piercings, you shouldn't be considered straight edge. I mean, I'm as straight edge can get. I got all the orifices that the good Lord above that you all believe in gave me, and so he made a good Lord. I've got all the 7. Only those 7. I got no piercings, no tattoos. Never done drugs that weren't prescribed to me by a high paid medical physician.
Or
never been drunk a day of my life.
Technically, me neither.
Never been drunk a day in your life?
Not for one day, no.
The prescription.
No, technically?
Oh yeah.
So all your days of cannabis have been during the legal era?
Guys, medical marijuana.
Out of 15 years, about 10 of them have been legal.
So you can't say that you've always been legal.
Well, there's legal.
Well, anytime your answer starts with it's time to shut up.
See, the thing is,
it's time to shut up.
What's like this?
Yeah.
The thing is,
what was Bill Clinton's excuse? Define the word is.
That's what the meaning is.
All right, well that's pretty open. We haven't said a word yet about why I wasn't here the last couple shows. And straight edge just means no drugs, no alcohol. I know what it means, but I think we should extend it. I think if you have tattoos,
it should be very straight edge.
Yeah, I'm very straight edge, and I think
Ramon straight edge.
The razor's edge. Yeah, I think
no
it should
drugs,
be extended.
No alcohol, no cigarettes.
But, no, I always thought that was so strange that he had all these tats and piercings and was calling himself straight edge, because I just looped it all in as that just basically chemical free, ink free, piercing free, drug free, all that.
No artificial.
Now Lawler would be straight. I don't think Lawler has a tattoo. I don't know of him having one.
Cornette tattoo on his heart.
Cornette got addicted to tattoos before I knew about his other endeavors.
I actually think that the ink that they use for tattoos has cocaine in it.
Probably does. It probably does. So the disqualification. Yeah, referee Tommy Marlin has issued a disqualification. So, and you know what my quote about tattoos used to be? And this goes back to the 70s. Tattoos are so ugly people can get attention too.
Well, some of us
tattoos are so someone will look at an ugly person.
Jason's getting all upset here. What do you mean I'm ugly?
I stayed home with my parents.
Well,
I didn't
have to come here to get insulted.
Yeah.
I could have stayed downstairs and got that.
and I forgot what the show was. Just one man's opinion, that's all it is. Yeah. And I'm the rare bird these days. Now, back when I was in high school, I didn't know or have too many of any friends that had tattoos. Knew a lot of them that smoked dope. Knew a lot of them that drank. which is
Yeah,
most
you know,
of them.
the
That's
tattoo
the cool
thing.
thing. You got to be a drunk and a pothead, or you're not cool.
Yeah, the tattoo thing kind of exploded in the 90s, I think, or
Is that
late
what it was?
90s.
Oh, all the tribal tattoos and all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, not
There's a bunch of
really
white dudes
not
right now that are real offensive.
I'm going to give a medical
Cultural
update in a little bit as
appropriation,
soon
right?
as I realize that out of my 12,000 followers on Facebook and my 12,000 followers on Twitter,
maybe like
and my
50 of them
5,000
show up.
subscribers, so that's 12, 24. So roughly 30,000 followers, and we've got not even 30 people.
I wonder how many people are actually seeing your post, though.
Well, they say it's a shitload that don't, and I don't know what I mean. I think a lot of people said negative things about Trump and anti-vaxxers.
Oh, of course.
But that's when the algorithms fucked with me, was when I started doing that.
Well, and you're not paying either.
And there was a thing on CNN that, well, I don't pay on either of those services, no.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I bet you did, you wouldn't be shadow.
Well, I disagree with that, because I've noticed a lot of these dumb fucks over on Twitter that pay the $8, $11, or $30 a month or whatever they're paying to get the boost, and they ain't getting anything.
Really?
And Bob doesn't say anything controversial at all. Bob don't get much, and I'll tell you who else don't get much. Whoever runs Conan's Facebook page. They put out our show, and fuck, I think we had 3 retweets for the Conan 100. What the fuck does he do? You know? So there's a certain group of us out there that get fucked with. And I haven't looked to see how many followers the Conan 100 things got, because that wasn't Conan's actual Facebook page, but whoever
it
does.
Depends on how much money you're making them. I mean, if you're not making them any money, they don't give a shit.
Well, I don't know.
And I tell you what, I know for a fact my Instagram, because I used to get hundreds of reactions, and now I'm lucky to get maybe 9.
No, really.
And I noticed that my
I used to get thousands and thousands on Twitter.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nothing for me to just, especially if it involved wrestling or current events or even politics. It would be nothing to make. It would be nothing to make a post and get 10,000 likes and several hundred shares. But when I posted about my squirrels, that got a lot of attention. Yes, that's pretty harmless. Squirrels.
So. Have you ever been put in Facebook jail or?
Yeah, a couple times.
Okay, that's what happened, because I was reading something. Even somebody famous put up that they had gotten a fight with a troll that didn't even really exist. But once they report you and you have a strike against you, that starts the process of you getting shadow banned.
Well, you said you liked the background tonight, Billy. What's different about it?
Got a little bit of a pattern into it tonight.
Oh, there does look like a flow back there.
I guess you did switch it up a little bit, and you can now read the Star Maker Bolin Show little. All the sponsors are at the bottom now.
Yeah, all the sponsors are there across the bottom.
Yeah, including the Fish House.
Yeah, the Fish House and Grill, where you can have gyros, Italian beef, chicken, and shrimp.
Make sure to go up there and pronounce
it. Is that why it is? Okay.
Really?
Well, shit. Well, I guess that's why you're here, and now you're gone.
Now you're not.
Now you can go suck somewhere else on your knees in your mother's basement. So, yeah. Well, shit. I love how the ones that hate my show the most are the ones that are here the most. So,
I'm telling you.
Gotta admire that. Bob, did we not set it up on subscribers for X amount of time, or you think that one was loaded up for a while?
I think that one was loaded. I did. Yeah. It was only 5 weeks, but it's been a while.
Yeah. 5 weeks is. But no, he had to point out we had a different background because I didn't notice. My vision is not. My eyes have been extremely sensitive since going into the hospital, so I'm not trying to Hollywood up on anybody, but I can see clearer with these.
Let's address that story now, because it's last week you were hanging out here on
did the Tuesday night show.
We did the Tuesday night show, and then you woke up Wednesday morning with a little bit of a chill.
I woke up Wednesday morning having a dream that I was in some wicked fucking weird ass movie with some semi-recognizable B actor. And I was kind of on the wings waiting for my turn to do whatever it is I was going to do. And in the dream, he is attacking some slither monster who has burned his belly, and they're pressed up against the wall. And the slither monster, with a kind of a fishy head of some type, has burned into this B actor's skin. and it's infected him. And so then there's a cut in the scene. He comes over and sits by me. I couldn't tell you who this is for $1 million. I just knew, I kind of recognized the face and recognized. And I said, man, I said, what the hell's going on with that mom? I said, how'd your skin get infected like that? I said, that's not CG. And he says, oh man, it ain't nothing to worry about. He said, I think I got COVID. I said, you're sitting right next to me and you fucking got COVID? I said, you fucking idiot. So I'm going off on him in the dream, whoever he is. You stupid fuck. You've got COVID. Now you've probably given me COVID, you ignorant motherfucker. So I'm going off on whoever this guy is. And then I'll wake up and I've got the fucking chills. I said, did I just dream myself into fucking COVID? What the fuck? And so I'm laying there shaking. But then I remember I've had these chills before. And every time I've had them, it has been related to cellulitis and an extremely high white blood cell count. And it's a scary shit, even with that. So I thought I could battle through it. I've done it before. And so for the better part of, I guess, 24 to 36 hours, I just stay in bed and sleep. And every 4 hours, I get up and go to the bathroom and I go back and sleep. And then I might go let the dogs out and then I go sleep. And then, you know, my family can't reach me. So they're over here beating on the window at, God, sometime, I guess I checked into the hospital Wednesday, right? See, all that period of time seemed longer than it was. So they take me to the hospital. I get checked in. I didn't want to go. I put up a fight because I got the 3 dogs. Nobody take care of them. And another reason I'm going to be fundraising on here a little bit tonight is that I was out $260 for dog care because I had nobody take care of my dogs. You all know the situation with a family member that not in a position to do anything. And the only person I could find to do it lived in Valley Station. And it's a long drive over here and a big inconvenience. And I could get them to come over here twice a day. So, and then other things that I had to get, you know, to make that transition smooth, ran about $260, which was not really money that I had to spare, but you ain't got no choice. You're in the hospital, your dogs are in the house, and somebody's got to take care of them. So I wasn't, and one other person said they'd do it for me for $500 for 5 days. Well, aren't you a sweetheart? It was a female. Yeah. Aren't you?
$20 in a sandwich.
Well, no. Those days are apparently over.
Yeah, they don't know anything about working wrestling, do they? Because you're supposed to get a hot dog and a popcorn or something.
Sandwich, but no mayo.
Broke ass is in here, but doesn't love us enough to get a badge yet. But hey, I
was wondering if that was really him.
Yeah, I'd say that's
the
him.
unbanned broke.
Yeah, we had to block him and all that good stuff. Nice. So I'm definitely going to be. Oh wow, shit! I thought we were looking at 50. Yeah, okay. Well, that's a big help. Let's make that a challenge for the entire room, because if we could do that, that would be a big ass help. No, I thought Billy was looking at doing 50. I didn't hear that. Well, that'll be a monster help. I appreciate that. Yeah, because I almost hate to get into it. It's just been overwhelming. So here's what the doctors told me. I get in there and they said, Kenny, listen to the people that are trying to get you into the hospital the next time. And of course, Dutch had contacted me. He was worried about me, but I hadn't answered the phone. Mark Henry was sweet enough to call me and talk to me for about 45 minutes yesterday. Boogeyman checked in on me. Mr. Kennedy, there's no Frankenberry did not call me. For those of you that know who I'm talking about, I didn't hear from Frankenberry.
I figured out by the looks.
Well, Billy, you're a sweetheart, man, and yeah, you said you were coming into a little extra money, but I thought we were looking at. But that's and please, Billy, don't do anything to hurt yourself. Billy, don't be a hero. You're waiting on that one.
It was stuck in my throat.
So when I get to the doctor, my blood pressure's through the fucking moon, which I didn't know. Other than being sleepy as shit and irritable as shit, I felt fine. So they take chest x-rays and do all this shit. Blood pressure's through the fucking moon. Blood sugar's through the moon. White blood cell white blood cell count is through the moon. Could not put a sentence together for shit. People were trying to talk to me, family members trying to talk to me. They said, you think a Trump rally sounds disoriented and troubled. They said, you were trying to put sentences together. You were trying to answer basic questions, and they just weren't. They said, Kenny, you were close to gone. And my doctor says, if you hadn't gotten in here somewhere between 12 and 24 hours earlier, at the time, if you'd have been 12 to 24 hours later, we're not going to say it would be certain death, but it would be probable death. They said sepsis is nothing to mess around with. No. I actually had one doctor phrase it to me in my own layman's terms: sepsis is nothing to fuck around with. Dutch phrased it to me pretty much as such. And he was in the hospital for the better part of 3 weeks with his, and probably still deals with it to a degree. And it's a blood infection. Well, blood infections are normally caused by an open wound on the body. So they're checking me out head to fucking toe, trying to find. I said, guys, if I had an open wound, I said, I think I would know where it is. And I said, I think I can tell you about it. Well, what about on your feet? I said, well, I just, I'd know. And no, guys. And I didn't even have any redness, which is normally a sign of cellulitis. So I didn't even have any redness, no open wounds, no nothing. But yet, so they were wanting me to go to the bathroom. I said, well, I just went. I said, so it's going to be a little bit before I go. So it was hours before I could go to the bathroom. Finally, I make it to the bathroom, and I notice that my urine is very, very, very orange, Trumpy orange. And like I'd eat a Trump cookie or something. And so I said, well, that don't look good.
Thank you.
And thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. I haven't looked yet, but I will. And for anybody that can be of any help tonight, Billy with the $200 challenge that he said he will help with tomorrow. I know George Captor mentioned he was going to do something nice for us, but I have not heard back from him yet. I didn't send him a link, so he probably knows nothing about the show. We'll see what he does and when he does it, but he had come into some money from selling a house or something and said he was going to do something nice for the show, being as he's been gone a while. I do have a few of the kids that I'm wanting to help, and we found a way to do it with Pay Maya. I had talked with Coltrane's wife. Michigan Mike says he's going to help us with it. Jazzy Jana says she's going to help us with us. That was the suggestion of Bob of who might help us set up these Pay Maya accounts, and it'll be a one-time deal. That's the only time. And I've offered to send them the $20 to do it. Both people turned it down and said, no, we'll do it. And then that way you got your 20 to send to whomever you send the money to. So instead of us sending $20 and the kid or family getting 1,000 pesos, they get the $25 referral fee automatically. Bob found that out the hard way because he was the first one to do it. So instead of getting 1,000 pesos, they get 2,477, if I remember the number correctly. So it'd be something close to that. So not only when Bob sends his 20, they get 2,400 pesos. Now I get a $25 referral, and then the next person I send money to, which in the last time was Jasmine, because she needed to buy books for her school and to pay her dorm fee. Her dorm fee, 600 pesos a month. Her dorm fee is $12 a month, Bob. Yeah.
High rent district.
Go over there and go to college and just get me a dorm is what I need to do. And I've seen her dorm, and it ain't a bad looking place for $12 a month. And you get 4 more girl roommates too. So I'm looking into that. And maybe Jasmine would be one of them. Yeah, maybe Jasmine would be one of them. So,
my luck, I'd get the 4 girls that have decided that they don't want anything to do with men.
There is an unbelievable amount of gay men that go to college in the Philippines, because every time I see the girl send me a picture and she's with, I said, is that your boyfriend? Oh, no, he's gay. And it's like 90% of the time he's gay. And are there any straight guys that go to your college? And
that's always the joke, though, a hairless Filipino boy. Like when people talk about,
I guess.
I guess there's a little truth to it, huh?
I get, but it seems like they're more for a Catholic community that used to shit all over gays. It seems like there's an awful lot of them there, and they're very, very open, and nobody seems to shame them or anything. They don't seem to be run out of communities or anything. For a country that's 99% Catholic and used to shame gays and homosexuals, lesbians, just whatever the case. But I hear, and I hear about lesbians over there a little bit, nowhere near as much as I hear about gay men. But there are some gay relationships over there amongst girls. You see it happen every now and then. If y'all remember Jessie that was on my show, her sister got fed up with guys that had a bad run of guys. She's only like 18 or 19. So she decided she'd try girls for a run. And her and the girl have lasted 2 years now. Yeah. So the guy thing wasn't working out. I said, hey, whatever's working makes you happy, do that. Yeah, whatever's working makes you happy, do that. And so basically I was somewhere between 12 and 24 hours away from, according to their terms, probably being a dead man, and Dutch agreed with it because he messed around and didn't go in. And he said he was told he was 12 hours away from looking death's door in the eye. So, and also tonight, Bob, when I wrote up the show, it offered something about this shared studio. So I do the shared studio. If you notice, we had to use a generic meme tonight because I used a meme in the shared studio.
Yes.
And then when I went to do the show, it wouldn't let me advance anywhere. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, well, the shared studio thing just basically means that you start like we do it. Those of you who don't know how StreamYard works, we start a session.
Well, Billy, welcome to the world of men, I guess, buddy.
Yeah. So we start a session each show, and then once the show is over, that session closes. That's why it'll be interesting to see, Kenny, if the invite link stays the same for a studio that you save.
And I could not upload a meme tonight. It did not offer me a chance to upload an image, only in shared studio. So when I tried to do one when I had to clear everything out, and I wasn't going to rewrite all that shit again, I said, fuck it, tune in and find out.
Yeah. I just don't get there's not value add here. I mean, I can see where you could use the same studio over and over again. There could be some use to that.
We won't be doing that.
But we don't.
So,
right? The fact that it can go dark mode around the edges of it.
What are the?
You've already got your browser set to go to good dark mode automatically anyway. So
yeah, as a matter of fact, I have my browser off dark mode tonight because StreamYard has its own tonight. So we're basically getting a 30-day free trial of all the shit you get for $49.95. I can't afford it by myself, that's for damn sure. But even if the three, and I don't even know if Coltrane's in a position to help us or not, but even if we shared the price, that's $16 each.
Yeah, so I'm looking at some alternatives.
I mean, a lot of people use Zoom. Do they charge?
Zoom, I think you can. I don't know how
can we throw up our images and everything like we do here? And
yeah,
I haven't played with it enough.
I mean, I've used it as a user, but never as like a host or presenter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was always I was always invited to a meeting or something like that. But
anytime I end up on Zoom, it's because somebody invited. I have Zoom, but I don't think I've ever created my own show on Zoom that I can remember.
And remember Skype? Yeah. Does that still exist?
Yeah, I still got Skype. Yeah,
I think it's still there technically. Although
I mean, people can still use it. I just rarely ever do.
Can you stream on that?
I don't know that you ever could.
Huh.
I mean, if me and you want to talk on Skype, we can do that right now.
Restream, I've looked at Streamlabs Ultra. Most of them, the pricing's about the same as what StreamYard's jumping up to.
It might be what StreamYard has figured out is that where else they're going to go, they're going to stay with who they know, not who they blow.
Right. So there's Streamlabs has a free version, but you can only have one other person on the camera. So it's just one and a guest where we need.
Well, like how many times has Coltrane show?
Well, there's that, but in case we actually have a real guest show up.
And who did you say they are, and what is their free version?
Streamlabs Ultra.
Yeah.
It gives you themes and overlays, but only their provided free oones.
Oh, God.
It's like.
So our shit would go away then.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Or at least the free version. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not terrible. It's about, it's $150 a year if you pay it a full
Yeah.
year in advance. It's $20
Yeah.
a month if you pay it on a monthly basis. So,
So you
it's
save about
not-
$20. Yeah.
yeah.
Pay the whole thing.
I'd have to. I'm going to take a look at it, see if it's
Yeah.
something
See
that we
what, see
can
what's
pick
out
up
there.
without.
See what's out there, I
Yeah.
guess. And I guess there's nothing to stop you and on the nights you need off, Coltrane taking your place. And if not, I got to do it by myself. But 49, is it 49 or 45 for this new version?
Well, it's like 40. I don't remember. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
But
When I saw that, I thought
the-
that was like the mid version. They were trying to
really
force me
bad
to
thing-
take
yeah,
the
that's
mid,
what I was
but
gonna
no,
say.
it's the bottom version now. Their pro version's $238 a month.
Yeah, so they do have a free version, but the free version doesn't allow you to do much of anything. I mean, it's like you can stream to one location. So
Yeah.
goodbye Facebook, which, by the way, goodbye Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you don't get near as much. You can only stream like 16 hours a month. Or
Well,
something. It's
according
kind
to
of-
this, we didn't lose one viewer when you got rid
well, I
of
haven't killed him yet.
Oh, you haven't killed. Well, here we go. Now we'll
Yeah.
find out what we lose. We
Goodbye,
might have
Facebook.
negative numbers.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, our numbers went up. We killed Facebook. And they
Yeah,
went
killed
up.
Facebook and gained 2 viewers. They did not go down. It stayed the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the only Facebook comment we had
yeah,
was
so
Mylene earlier on. So
yeah, Mylene was in there a little earlier, and I should have said something to her, and I did. I didn't get around to it. Guys, if you
did you check Dan Limley's PayPal?
I have not. He said he sent a little something. Let's see what we got here.
A little something.
A little something.
Cheska, I don't have a load.
That's nice.
Honey Rose check.
I didn't know what to do with that.
Well, a phone load, man. Don't be that way. Okay, so we have a $10 donation from TC from the NC. Daniel Emily donated $30.
Thank you,
That's
Dan.
nice. Thank you, Daniel. $30 challenge from Daniel Emily, and Jaded Entertainment has donated $10. So 30, 40, 50,
50, 200.
and then a 200 pledge for tomorrow, which he told me to use for myself. And trust me, I ran up enough bills while I was in the hospital. I could use the help. I ain't gonna lie.
It's been a hell of a year. Isn't it?
I mean, if I still had my job,
yeah,
like
this is like your third trip in the hospital this year, isn't it?
it's it's
Second or
exactly
third?
3. Yeah, because 2 of them were recent, and then one from a while back, and the other ones were cellulitis related. And then I had the the leg
Yeah, the problem
issues
with the leg. Yeah, where your legs swelled up.
Yeah. And but this one was scary. So when I was at the doctor's office today for the follow-ups and new blood work and heart rate, my heart rate dropped to his it was as high as like 140 and dropped to as low as 30, and it kept going back.
That's
and
very
forth.
low.
Yeah, and I didn't feel any different at 140 than I felt at 130 because they kept coming in. That my machine kept beeping, and I was plugged up. It normally beeps if I'm not plugged up, and I would unplug to go to the bathroom, shit like that. Kenny, they're yelling at us at the front desk. You got to stay plugged up. I said I can't go to the goddamn bathroom unless I'm plugged. I said whoever's out there fucking bitching, and I'd gotten real irritable on about day 2 or 3. I said tell whoever's out there fucking bitching not to yell at you. Tell them fucking come yell at me. I got to go to the goddamn, and I'm talking in layman's terms as I do on this show. I said, I got to go to the goddamn bathroom. I can't wait for y'all to fucking come unhook me or I'll sit here and piss myself in bed. So I have to do it. So whoever's out there bitching at you, tell them fucking come bitch at me. Well, it's Dr. So-and-so. Good. Tell Dr. So-and-so to come fucking bitch at me because you didn't do it. I did. And I'm losing it. And by the time Saturday gets here, that's when I said, no, we're not talking about if I'm going home today. We're talking about when I'm going home. I said, if my blood work comes back and there's nothing life threatening, I'm fucking going home. I can't get no goddamn sleep here. I got 6 hours sleep in several days. If I was lucky, that's probably overestimating what I got. And then it's costing me out the ass to keep the dogs taken care of. And that bill's going up every fucking day.
They wake you up to give you a sleeping pill.
And, I didn't bring my sleeping gummies. Well, it wouldn't done no good. They're coming to take blood out of me every 2 fucking hours. It wouldn't done any good. And then, so then there's one of the days they're telling me, okay, well, we're going to come in here at 4 a.m. We're going to do this, this, and this. And then we're back in here at 6. I said, no. Well, you're going to, and I know I'm sounding like a dick. No, what you're going to do, I haven't had any fucking sleep. And if I'm fortunate enough to be sleeping at 4 a.m., what you're going to do is you're going to come at 6 and you're going to do everything then. Does that not make more sense? Well, yeah, I guess it does. I said, who the fuck's got? I said, I know you all don't give a shit if we get any sleep or not, but that's bad for people's health too, especially mine. I said, it really fucks with my eyes. I said, it fucks with everything about me if I'm not getting any sleep. So we're not going to do anything at 4 a.m. We're going to do both of these things at 6 a.m. because there was no reason not to do them together. It was one of those things where one didn't have to rely on the other. So at least they agreed to, and then they didn't show up till 7:30. So that worked out even better. So I was scheduled for 6. Then they showed up at like 7:38 or something. And that was my last day in that. Oh, and most of the days I was there, I never got a TV till my last day. 2 days technically. Never had a television because I was in like a holding area. I was in rooms that had been converted into rooms for patients. So it looked like you had your own private room. And then, so I get up to go to the bathroom. There's a broom closet. I did not have my own bathroom. So I get unhooked and everything, and I got to go pretty bad. So I get up and open this door, and there's fucking supplies. And I was like, what the fuck? No television, no fucking bathroom. So I hit the little beeper thing. I said, bring me a wheelchair and get me, because the bathroom is way the fuck down the goddamn hallway. I know I'm not going to get there. So they had to find a fucking wheelchair, and I barely got to that bathroom in time. I said, what the fuck's the door that you think's the, well, that's a storage area for the doctors. Well, you could have fucking told me that. I said, I woke up thinking I had my own bathroom. You never told me no different. And they didn't feed me the first 2 or 3 days I was there. Now, fortunately, I wasn't really craving anything out of the ordinary because I hadn't eaten since Monday afternoon anyway. But they don't give a fuck. They didn't give you. Chris said they did him the same way.
One of those teaching hospitals.
What's that?
Is this one of those teaching hospitals?
No, it's fucking Jewish hospital, one of the best hospitals in Louisville.
So you're Jewish. That's why they were treating
University of Louisville bought them out, but I mean they're known as U of L Jewish Combined. Huh. And the staff was nice enough, you know, right. And they put up with my shit the whole time I was there and I'd say, hey, I'm not cussing you, I'm cussing your fucking system. You know, I'm not cussing you. You're trying. It's the fucking people that execute this shit that are fucking morons, you know, and just a lot of ignorant, but they don't care. They honestly don't care. And if they know you got insurance, if you ain't got insurance, they'll fucking get you in and out of there in a fucking heartbeat.
Oh, hell yeah.
But when they know you got it, my insurance pays for everything, except dog care. They want to keep you in there as long as possible. That's what. Well, we'll look into it. And we'll say, no, we're not going to look into shit. If the blood work says that I don't have anything life-threatening, I'm 4 miles from you. So I'm going to go home. And if shit goes south, I can be here in 7 minutes. You know, so that's how we're going to do it. And you almost have to talk to them like they're children, or they will let you run over. They will run over you. Oh, yeah. But if you don't, because they don't have the legal right to keep you there if you don't want to be there. But they don't want you to know that, because they know the government eventually pays. You know, it might be 90 days from now, but they're going to get a check and they're going to get paid. All these fucking freebies coming here with no insurance, they know they're not probably getting dick. Other than whatever their contracted money is, I guess. And you got to be generating money for the hospital. Well, what's Barkley got to say there without his badge?
Jewish Hospital in Louisville was the first hospital to successfully install a synthetic heart implant.
Well, how do you like that?
Well, goddamn, I'm glad his Google machine's working. As a matter of fact, my history with them goes way back. I had my first 2 ear surgeries at Jewish Hospital. And I just told this story yesterday. They said, have you ever been to Jewish Hospital before? I said, yeah. And they said, how long ago? I said, 1978, 1979. Have you been back here since? I said, no. They said, why have you not been back? Because we see here you have a long hospital history and you can go anywhere you want. Why have you not come here? I said, well, you all botched my first ear surgery. And then you wanted me to come back and get a second one. And then you botched that one. And then you wanted me to come back and get a third. And those fucking ear surgeries are fucking painful and they fuck with you. And And I said, no, you've had 2 tries. You're not going to get 3. Well, you're going to lose your hearing in that ear and you won't be able to hear probably within the next 3 years. You got a hole in your eardrum. Yeah. And you've had 2 attempts to fix it. And for whatever reason, you haven't done it. And I'm telling them this at age 19. This is my senior year of high school at Oldham County. And I missed my graduation because of being in their hospital having ear surgery. And I didn't get to go through the graduation line. And I said, no, y'all have cost me enough. And if I can't hear, I fucking can't hear because you all ain't fixing it no way. So sure enough, I'm age 64 now. They just checked my hearing today down at the doctor's office. Oh, Kenny, your ears look perfect. Really? I said, can you see the hole in the eardrum? And they said, no, we can't see that through this. And I said, well, they told me I wouldn't be able to hear within 3 years. When they tell you that? I said, 1979. And they said, well, you just took the hearing test and you passed perfectly. I said, well, that's shocking. As I had no idea how good my hearing was. And so I told, that's why I haven't been back. You went over there.
Did you have to go like lion, man, camera?
I went tiger, bear, snake, raccoon. Tiger, bear, snake, raccoon. So,
Raccoon.
but yeah, we appreciate Barkley's Google searches there, and yeah, and as a rule, they have a reputation as being a very, very good hospital. They're just not very good with Kenny Risen or Kenny Bolin. So
Either one of them.
Haven't had so much luck with me. Let's see here. See if we, nope, we're at where we're at on the. Oh, and if you could see all the. You have new test results from the University of Louisville / Jewish Hospital. Mm-hmm. I must have 70 of those in my inbox from all the test results they've done while I was in the hospital. I'm sure Barkley, with all this time away, would have at least gotten a badge, a little donation, a little something. He saved up a lot of money, I'm sure.
He did. Well, he
doesn't give a fuck about my dog bills, I guess. I don't know. It's not their problem. I guess it's not their problem. So where do we stand? Have we been on damn near an hour? 50 minutes. Okay.
We have.
What's the final results of the? Now, Kyle, I know you're not going to let me count my big. What was that game that you said was on when you didn't pick it? Even though
that was the Nebraska-Illinois game.
Yeah, I would have. I picked Illinois, but if I had known that game was at Nebraska. I thought it was at Illinois. So I would have picked Nebraska had I known it was at home. I didn't think Illinois would have Nebraska.
So, folks, while we were away,
I would have been 4-0 in my college picks if I'd been allowed to count.
We didn't pick the full slate. We just picked the games that were top 25 versus top 25 teams.
Well, I was basically on my deathbed, just trying to think these might be my last picks.
Anything I can do, please. What's my legacy?
What's my legacy? Let me go out 4-0 in college.
I was 0-3, actually 0-4 because I did pick.
Did you
Nebraska.
go 0-4?
I was 0-4. Yeah. In fact, I did go ahead and pick every game for the week, and I was 6-12 overall. So
holy shit!
Horrible week.
I didn't do.
Kenny was 4-0.
You know what? Run those by, and I swear I'll give you my honest answer because I might not even know the results.
All right, so Texas
and give
versus,
me this.
Yeah, so this was last week.
Let me hear it, and I'll tell you what I would have done.
We're not picking the new week yet, folks. So it's Texas versus University of Louisiana Monroe.
I think I'd have had Texas covered.
44.5-point favorite.
They didn't cover, did they? Or did they?
They did.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, I would have had Texas.
Ohio State versus Marshall. OSU was a 40-point favorite.
I would have had Ohio State covering, and they did not.
They did not.
Yeah, I would have had Ohio State covering that. Yeah. So
Ole Miss
was try to track my record if you can. So that's 1-1, right?
Right. So I'm
okay.
Just put here right.
Yeah, just to see what I would have done.
Ole Miss was playing at home against Georgia Southern. They were a 35.5-point favorite.
I would have had them covering.
They did.
Okay.
Okay. So
Georgia
one
Southern
game we did pick
every now and then. I thought that might be one that bit them in the ass.
Number 6 Tennessee at number 15 Oklahoma. Tennessee was a 6.5-point favorite.
I called this one perfectly. My brother said Tennessee by 14. I said nah, not quite that much. I got Tennessee by 10. And I do remember you had picked Oklahoma. I wasn't sure about Coltrane.
And so did Jason. Yeah.
And I'll be goddamn if they didn't. I was so when it got down to the end of the game, I said, please keep it 10, because man, I'm going to look good here.
Yeah.
My brother gets mad that I say what a shit picker McAfee is.
Yeah.
And he is. And they only got to pick winners and losers. They don't pick spread. They pick winners and losers. They still can't win. He did pick West Virginia this week, and I doubt that I did.
Number 7, Missouri played Vanderbilt. Missouri was a 20-point favorite.
And I would have took Missouri to cover, and I don't think they did. That went overtime, didn't it?
They were, yeah.
Vanderbilt's been playing some good ball. No, I would have had Missouri covering that one.
Miami was a 17-point favorite at South Florida.
It wasn't looking good early, was it? It was like a 2-point game at halftime. And it was and Miami was not playing good. And South Florida was playing like world beaters. And I did not see that second half going the way it did. But I would have had Miami to cover. And like I said, it didn't look like that was going to happen early.
Yes. Number 10, Penn State was playing Kent State. So the state versus states.
That is also Dolph Ziggler's school of graduation when he was a wrestling champion there.
Penn State was a 49-point favorite.
You know what? I don't think I would have had Penn State covering 49.
I did not either.
And they did?
But they did.
God damn. No, I would not have picked Penn State to cover 49.
Yeah. So one game we also picked.
So there were 4 dead in Ohio, and they were all on the football team.
They were on the football team. Number 11, USC played number 18, Michigan. Michigan was a 4.5-point underdog.
I picked Michigan in that one against everybody on ESPN, but I think McAfee picked Michigan, if I remember
Michigan correctly. With the big upset win there. So
yeah, I called that one.
Then number 12, Utah played at number 14, Oklahoma State. It was a 1-point favorite for Utah.
I picked Utah.
You did. I picked Oklahoma State. So
I saw that.
Yeah. Kansas State played at BYU. Kansas State was a 6.5-point favorite.
Kansas State, BYU. Where was the game?
At BYU.
I would have thought BYU could give them all they want, but I
don't trust either Kansas team.
God, that's a tough one right there because I don't know who won. Kansas State, BYU.
Let's just say BYU is in the top 25 this week for the first time this year.
Well, I guess so BYU won.
Yes.
I would have thought God, that would have been a tough pick, but if it was at BYU, I'd have had to lean BYU.
All right. Well,
so they beat was Kansas State ranked as well? I guess they were.
Yeah, Kansas State was number 13.
Oh, so they beat. What was the final?
I don't know. I have to go look.
Well, that's all right. I mean, shit, they won. So
they won.
They obviously
LSU was hosting UCLA. UCLA was a 22.5-point underdog.
I would have thought, and I'm probably going to be wrong on this one, I would have thought UCLA could have at least covered, but I'm guessing they didn't.
They did.
UCLA did cover?
They did cover, yes.
Oh, shit. Okay.
They didn't win, but they covered.
Yeah, I would have had UCLA covering.
Notre Dame was playing Miami of Ohio.
Yeah.
And the
Fighting Irish teams, another one of those Max.
27.5-point favorites.
I would have had Notre Dame covering.
And you would have been wrong, just like I was.
Miami of Ohio covered, huh?
Yeah. Louisville played Georgia Tech.
Yes.
Louisville was a 10-point favorite.
That was another interesting game through the first half. Louisville was a 10-point favorite.
Yeah,
I would have thought Louisville would have covered, but it looked mighty ugly in the first half.
Well, they did.
As a matter of fact, I thought Georgia Tech might win it the way they were playing in the first half.
Yeah, that was because of that vignette that they filmed for SmackDown.
That could be. But yeah, I would have had Louisville covering.
Number 20, Ohio State.
By the way, Louisville jumps up 6 spots in the rankings from 19th to 13th. They are 1 slot out of a playoff spot. Yeah, so if Louisville can beat Notre Dame and Miami, they will be a shoe-in for a playoff spot as long as they don't lose to Kentucky in the last game of the season.
Number 20, Iowa State was a 20.5-point favorite versus Arkansas State.
I would have thought Iowa State could cover that.
They did.
Okay.
Clemson, number 21, played North Carolina State. Clemson was a 16.5-point favorite.
I would have thought Clemson could have covered that.
They did.
Okay.
Number 22, Nebraska played number 24, Illinois.
The NC State does not look too fucking good lately. What's the next one?
Nebraska and Illinois, and you
Okay.
picked Illinois. Northern Illinois was a 13.5-point favorite versus Buffalo.
I would have thought they would have covered, but they got beat, didn't they?
They did not
Buffalo.
cover. Yeah, Buffalo took them out.
Yeah.
And then the final top 25 team playing was Texas A&M, number 25, versus Bowling Green. Texas A&M was a 22.5-point favorite.
I would have thought Texas A&M could have covered.
And they did not.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
So what was my
let's
record?
see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 right, and 6 wrong.
All right.
You're the
so,
exact opposite of me. 12 and 6.
The exact opposite.
6 and
I told
In
you
the
eventually.
NFL,
I told you eventually I
NFL,
need to start doing the opposite of what you
Yeah,
do, and I might
exactly. In the NFL, we all picked different teams, and somehow every one of us came out 15-0.
Well, wow.
I don't,
Well, you
I
can't
don't
beat
know how that happened.
You can't beat that.
And no, Bob was 6-9. Jason was 7-8. Kenny was 7-8. It was an ugly week all the way around.
Ugly
We are
week.
Horror.
Did you? I assume you did not hit any quadrifectas or parlays or any of this stuff.
Man, I can't even say that there was one team that screwed it up because it was the exact opposite.
Because normally every week you got one
Probably
team that screwed the whole
There's a
thing up.
lot of teams.
Oh,
like,
my brother sent me a video of him at 3:30 in the morning at the casino. He'd just gone to the hospital because he was having heart issues again. Said he was feeling like shit. So we were both in the hospital at the same time. I think that's the first time ever that's happened. I go to the hospital first. Man, I might be in a bed next to you. I said, no, you won't. Don't know. Got my own wing down here, son. I don't know where you think you're going to be. And so he goes to the hospital same time I do. They release him. They had put him on too much of a prescription of something that was fucking with him. They took me off metoprolol because they said, are you on any beta blockers? That might be what's making your heart rate go up and down. Said, not that I'm aware of. So they're going through all my prescriptions. And they said, do you take metoprolol? I said, yeah, I take that. Well, that's a beta blocker. I said, well, educate me, doc. I didn't know.
Thank you, doctor, for telling me this.
They took me off that, and that seems
Act like you went to medical school with
yeah, like I got an honorary degree from the University of Louisville, but I don't think it's going to put me in any hospital. Really? Yeah, they gave me one. God, about 7-8 years ago, I guess.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
8-9 years ago, yeah.
So you're Dr. Bolin.
It's boxed around. It's boxed up around here. So I don't know where I put it. It was just before I moved in here, so probably 8 years ago. And it's boxed up around here. It's probably in my kitchen closet, along with some other shit I'd love to find, but a lot of work to get in there and find it. So yeah, no, I got an honorary degree from them. I don't know who pulled the triggers to make it happen. It was kind of right after the end of the TV career. So I don't know who pulled.
I just discovered on
They also offered me an honorary Kentucky Colonel, and I didn't want anything to do with it. Cornette's one. Racist.
On 244, the Roku channel, they actually had OVW.
Well, they're on Fight TV now. For my YouTube TV customers, that we added 12 or 13 sports channels. Fight TV is one of them, and as a matter of fact, OVW Primetime Live goes head to head with Raw. So don't know how many people are seeing it.
I checked it out, and I checked it out.
Yeah, there you go. It's it's not the days of Mark Henry, John Cena, Sly Turkey, Dave Bautista, Brock Lesnar, Doug and Danny Basham, Nick Dinsmore, Rob. It's not those days.
No.
End of days. Yeah, it's well, there's a reason I don't watch it.
All right. So
and I really wanted to like it. Like, I really wanted to be behind it.
Yeah.
But I only lasted like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, I've watched entire. I do enjoy watching the girls, Layla and I forgot the other one's name. That do real good in
the Hollywood one.
I have never seen who that girl is. I think I might be the only girl. I might be the only person on the planet who does not know who that.
She looks like she'd be Miley Cyrus's like way less attractive.
I don't know how I've avoided it. I take pride in that I haven't seen it because everybody talks about it. Jimmy Kimmel, all the comedians, and all the YouTube shorts I get. You think that one would have come up, but I don't know what the person looks like. I don't even know exactly what it's about, and I am about the only person in the world, I
Yeah.
think, that
She has done an amazing job of
marketing.
taking a stupid little thing and marketing the hell out of it.
Well,
And
that's
I will
like
say
Cash
she
Me
does
Out.
good
That's like Cash Me Outside on Dr. Phil. You know, Cash Me
Yeah.
Outside. Though she got a fucking OnlyFans page and was
She
making
got a record deal and everything else out of that shit,
She's
too.
making $100,000 a week minimum with an OnlyFans page, and
No,
wasn't
but
showing
the
and
girl
wasn't
at
showing
least
it,
does shit with animals.
and
Like,
wasn't
she-
showing anything either. Yeah, wasn't showing anything. So, or so they say.
That's what they tell us.
God damn, the comments dried up, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
All right. So the Thursday night game, since we haven't been doing Thursday shows
Yeah,
because of me, because I'm a slacker
and a nerd.
and a nerd. Dallas is host or playing at the New York Giants. Dallas is a 4.5-point favorite. The 1-2 Cowboys versus the 1-2 New York Giants.
Well, the Louisville Lamar Jacksons did everything they could, and this was because of me. So you know how this happened. You remember when the Louisville Lamar Jacksons were up about 25 on y'all in the fourth quarter? I made a phone call to the sidelines. I've got that type of access to Louisville Lamar. I said, Lamar, you know where my co-host is from. He's having a hard time right now. Could you do me a favor? You got this shit in the bag. Do me a favor, Louisville Lamar, and just kind of slow it up a little bit. Throw the dogs a bone.
Just
Prescott just signed the big contract. They're wanting to get rid of him already. They're not. Let them make a fight out of it. And then I had to make another phone. God damn, you been trying to blow it? 2.5 minutes. They're gonna win this fucking thing. So I had to snap at him again, and then everything worked out. But no, Bob. I was waiting for Lamar to throw 50. That's what happens to Dallas a lot these days. We give up 40 or 50. So what's going on in Dallas? What's the talk down there? Because I didn't get to hear a lot of it.
Yeah.
What's Tom Landry? Well, Tom Landry ain't saying shit. What's Jerry World saying?
Jerry, well, I'm telling you this. Dad's Super Bowl. We I have total confidence.
Oh, does he still have total confidence
in Coach Cower and have not yet signed.
Are y'all just terrified to speak? As Barkley's back to his old ways, no badge, no donation. But at least we know that's Barkley. No badge, no donation. That's Barkley.
Yeah. So the Cowboys in the preseason signed.
A lot of people
Dalvin
thought
Cook.
that was the fake Barley, but we've proven that it's him.
Yeah, they signed the fake Dalvin Cook, and so he's been on the practice squad. But with the Cowboys averaging like 1.5 yards per carry, there's calls here to. I mean, that's how bad off we are. We are begging for a washed-up Dalvin Cook to be elevated to the main roster.
Oh, Lord. Is anybody hurt on Dallas to speak of?
Just their pride.
Oh, and by the way, just in case there's any doubt, Miami is not going to win a game.
No.
Until
Until Tom Brady rescues us.
Until Hawk Tua comes back, we're not going to win any game. Is he Hawk Tua? Is that who it is?
Hawk Tua.
Is it our quarterback, Hawk Tua? Yeah, maybe it's him.
Hawk Tua tagging
Maybe she just rips her face
off.
off.
So maybe I do know who it is. I wasn't aware. Yeah, it's
Tua Tagliabue. That was the problem.
Now we do play. Now I think we're the 1-2 Dolphins now, playing the 0-3 Tennessee Titans. Is that also a weekly game? Is that one of the Thursday games?
The Miami Tennessee game. Miami is Miami Tennessee is a Monday night game.
Oh, it's a Monday night game. Oh,
yeah.
They're doing the two Monday night games. They don't do 2 Thursday games.
Yes, except on Thanksgiving.
It is so fucking stupid that they run those games parallel. What is the benefit of that?
I don't know. I mean, why don't you run one of them East Coast and run one of them West Coast?
Well, I mean, then you have to pick a West Coast team, and they didn't do that this time.
No, well, they do, but they have a West Coast team on the road in Detroit,
but not on that night.
No, this coming one.
But no, you you start one game at 6 and start the other one at 9. Monday Night Football used to start at 9. For those that don't remember, when I was a kid, Monday Night Football started at 9. Fucking game would be over with about 12:45. Then you got to go to school at 7 in the morning the next day. Great marketing for kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, as a matter of fact, I think 8:20 is even a little late. Just kick the goddamn thing off at 7:30 or 8 sharp, 8:05. You know, so you can have a little intro. Because I think jacking around till 8:20 is not even necessary. It's a fucking school night, and give the kids a chance to see the game. Well, I know it's not considered prime time, but it plays well into prime time. And if you want your kid, but they're trying to work it out to where it ends about where it's time for the local news. So I get what they're doing. But back in the days when it used to kick off at 9 o'clock, I don't know what the thinking was there. That's an hour past prime time, hour past the news, and many times an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes past your normal news time. So I don't know. They apparently, wiser minds eventually changed it. But on a school night, I mean, a lot. You know what our mandatory bedtime was? 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Yeah.
And I'd go down to my room, lock the door, and turn the TV on. What's the fucking ballgame? Put a towel at the crack of the door so they couldn't see the TV light coming through my door. Have the volume down real low and just sit right up on the TV on my 19-inch black and white Sylvania.
Yeah.
What I did.
Can you believe Miami is actually a favorite right now?
No,
I know it's Tennessee.
Did the backup quarterback get put out too? Because he had hurt ribs. Are we down to the third string quarterback now? Billy Bob
that
Thornton
raised the odds.
Who?
I don't know who's playing.
Yeah, because apparently the backup quarterback got his ribs hurt pretty bad. He didn't come back into the game.
Bring Fitzpatrick off the sidelines.
Yeah.
Just throw the microphone down. God
Get him back in the game. That's it. I'm done.
Well, what's Colin Kaepernick doing?
Still waiting for an opportunity.
Well, he ain't gonna get one apparently.
That arm's probably stiff by now.
Isn't that a crying fucking shame what got done to him?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I watched Raw and saw the main event. Who agrees that it was time to already yank the title off of
Braun Breaker?
Braun Breaker?
I didn't.
Because I kept thinking, does anybody in here really think that Sammy's going to win tonight on Raw? And all these fucking fake ass finishes, and we've had 14 false finishes here. Does anybody really think that Braun is going to lose tonight? And then when it happened, I said, well, they got me.
Apparently someone thinks so.
I didn't see it happen. Somebody in the back must have heard I had doubt. Yeah, let's fuck with Bolin. Let's do that. I didn't think the timing was right, and I didn't think the venue was right. I think, as a matter of fact, some family members of mine thought that he should have beat Gunther and put a real title on him. If you want to put a title on him that means something. And Gunther already had his fucking 15-year run with the Intercontinental title for some fucking reason. And there's a lot of people that think way more highly of Gunther than I do. I do not see him packing houses. He's fine to be on the card, and he's made tremendous improvements in his look, and his work is fine. But I don't think anybody, when I say anybody, enough to make a fucking difference, is selling any tickets. I mean, give me anybody in here that's going to the card, and if Gunther ain't on it, you're going home. Because that happened with John.
Second crowd,
that's happened with John Cena. That's happened with The Rock. It's happened with Undertaker. If you go there thinking he's going to be there, never happened with Kane. It'll happen with Steve Austin. Allow me to finish. If you go there thinking he's going to be on the card and he's the reason you got your ticket, they would offer you a chance to get a refund. And many times people would take them, hey, I came here to fucking see them. I ain't staying for this other shit.
Right.
Nobody is going to make their purchase decision based upon Gunther. Nobody.
Yeah, I think Roman is probably the only one today.
Roman's a good possibility. Yeah. You can put Roman in that
might
class.
Say Cody, but but
he's on the edge of it.
Yeah, I think Roman probably is the only one you could say is surely, like, if he was advertised.
Yeah, and then you find out he ain't
really
there.
Pissed about it, right?
Well, stand up and take your fucking money and go home. But then again, once you go through the trouble, the time and effort, parking and everything, even though tickets are fucking outrageous. I mean, you used to be able to buy a ticket and get in Freedom Hall for $20, have a decent seat, and enjoy Monday Night Raw for 3 hours. Those days are apparently over.
And possibly television.
And they're probably going to jack it up even more when they do Netflix. And then from now, are they cutting it back to 2 hours before they go to Netflix?
They're cutting it back to 2 hours.
Like soon,
through like in 2 weeks or something. But it's only through December. Once they get on Netflix, they're going to go back to 3 hours.
Okay. Well, I got news for everybody. We're going to be doing a very big special show. It's either going to be the 10th or the 11th based upon Bob's availability of scheduling and Mark's availability of scheduling. But Mark was sweet enough to call me, had about a 45-minute conversation with me. It wasn't yesterday. It was the day before. I've kind of lost concept of time. But we had a great conversation, and I saw the phone ringing, saw the number light up. I go, it must be an accident. So I let it ring like 4 times, and then it rings the 5th time. I go, well, I guess he meant to call me. Because I'm just not used to getting phone calls from him the last several years. So I answered the phone, and I said, hello. He says, Kenny. I said, this is he. Kenny, yeah. You can't die yet, man. I ain't done your show. So, well, all right. Seems to be a legitimate reason to stay above ground.
That's what's keeping me alive, Mark.
The only reason.
That's the only reason I'm still
And he told me
here.
he tried to pop in on the show a few times. I said, well, you have to have a join link. You just can't just walk in here. And he was going to surprise you. I said, well, it would have been a surprise had you got in.
How the hell did you get in here?
I've been wondering how the hell you did that. But we had a great conversation. He's got a story that I want him to tell about Michael Jordan that is fucking hilarious. And I would totally picture Mark. And you probably know a little bit about the story for those of you that get YouTube shorts. But I've got additional information that I got the other day. A story about The Undertaker talking about his greatest feat of strength involving Mark Henry. But no, and also Mark, as he says, Kenny, anytime you want to be on Busted Open with me, you got carte blanche. He said, just contact my producers, tell them you want to be on the show, and I'll make sure it happens. So that was nice. Apparently Busted Open's a big deal to be on. I didn't realize.
Very much so.
Oh, Mark says he's the number one. He's got 2 number 1 shows on there, which I did not know.
Yeah, they beat out a lot of the like fight shows and everything. So yeah, one show on that
and Mark is also the host of College Game Day University of Texas version. So he said he keeps pretty busy, and he's got a lot of new news to talk about, and he's pretty busy. He's going to be in Dallas for like a 3 or 4 day appearance leading up to the Oklahoma-Texas game. So he can only give us like 20 or 30 minutes, and we're looking at either doing it the 10th or the 11th. I encourage you, if you want to be a part of the show, get a badge now, Barclay. That'll be a live event, and Bob, you want to tell them the other surprise about that?
Well, the other surprise is that we may be doing that event not remotely with Mark, but actually in person. So
in person,
see how that goes.
Yeah, well, and I'm arranging for transportation there now as we speak. I've made my request to Mark's people of what it takes to get me to be a part of that, and we're waiting on feedback of that. And because due to my leg and everything, I have to have special, accommodation.
First class private jet.
Well, doesn't have to be private. Yeah, just.
Yeah, but if it's not a
first class,
you don't have to go.
And I'm not going to drink any alcohol, so I'll save them some money there.
There you go.
So that's the 10th or the 11th. That's a Thursday or a Friday, leading up to the big Texas game, and that'll be Mark's first ever appearance on my show. And then I will get with them and get scheduled on his show. And obviously, I think I heard that Bubba does those shows on Mondays and Thursdays, so it probably won't be one of those days. Yeah. So I would probably just like to avoid that, just to keep the peace. And let's see. The Boogeyman contacted me. I sent Bob the screenshot. Boogeyman's wanting to come on the show. And Mr. Kennedy's wanting to come on the show. He says, I want to go somewhere and be able to talk religion and politics. Well, you found the right show. Let's do that.
Yeah. We sent him a link.
That's 3 pretty good guests we've got coming up. They contacted me, 2 of them before I damn near died. And then Mark was just a day or 2 ago.
It took a near-death experience.
It's good to hear from him. It was good that it wasn't a token call and just a, hey, you know, and then 5 minutes later he's gone. No, he spent 45 minutes with me. And I told him it really meant the world to me that he took the time to do that. Mr. Cena checked in on me. It was very kind of him. And we need to get him back on the show again soon. And, but Bob, I think the donations have totally dried up, I think.
I think you're right.
You got to show Mark that picture of my family reunion because he looks like he belongs there.
Oh, and Anthony Scaramucci wrote me checking in on me. He was very nice as well.
Kenny, did you die yet? No, not yet.
Not yet.
You have to stay along. You have to stay alive long enough to see.
He was checking in.
Trump lose the election.
No, the last donation we got was $10 from Jaded Entertainment at 9:44. We haven't had a donation in nearly an hour. So,
damn.
All right,
folks. Who knows if we'll be back since you guys don't love Kenny?
No, apparently not.
Hey, the meds kicked in, so I should be back on a regular basis now.
The who is kicked in?
The meds, yeah.
Ah. Okay.
So they kicked in this weekend.
That's understandable.
I've been building shit. I cleaned the whole damn house. It's just like
yeah. Oh, damn. All righty.
Manic depressive.
So I don't guess I'll be here Thursday. I guess we'll come back Friday and do the college picks, NFL picks.
All right, Dallas and New York. I'm taking Dallas to cover 4.5.
Oh, Dallas and New York. That is the Thursday game.
That is the Thursday game.
New York actually showed up and looked like a fucking football team last week. What about that shit?
I'll say Dallas by 10.
This is the Giants, not the Jets.
It's kind of what Baltimore was in last week. It is a absolute must-win situation, is how I see it.
Yeah.
You know, there's some splaining to do down in Dallas.
Can they beat
the
that
Giants?
spread?
Fucking beat. It's at Dallas, correct?
No, it's in New York.
Oh, it's in New York. Well, if they're ever going to be motivated to play, that'll be the day. And what's the spread? You said 6.5?
4.5.
4.5.
Oh, 4.5.
Dallas is 4.5 favorites over the Giants.
When I checked yesterday, so maybe
motherfuck, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah.
I think week 1 you would have picked Dallas by 16.5.
Probably.
God damn. I think you'd almost be an idiot not to take Dallas to cover. So yeah.
So there we go. All three of us take Dallas.
I don't know if the Giants
take your money and put it on.
But if anybody's capable, what I saw, who do they give a hell of a run to?
So to beat Dallas, you just have to run the ball. If you can run the ball, you can beat Dallas.
And the poor Saints, They it looked like they were just going to pitch a shutout against the Eagles there for quite some time, and they really should have beaten the Eagles. I'm shocked they didn't figure out their passing game a little better too. And I finally saw the push tush not work for a change. And well, it wasn't that it didn't work. They went off tackle on it and got tackled about 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And if something never gets stopped, I don't know why you wouldn't run it. But they thought they'd outsmarted everybody, and Saints were looking for it and hit them for a 3-yard loss.
Super Bowl when they should have
there's a lot of our regulars in here we didn't see tonight. T-Maker we just saw for a very short period of time, and didn't see Michigan Mike tonight.
No Jan.
We didn't see Nicole tonight, did we?
No.
Nope.
Yeah. And I knew we weren't going to see George Captor. That took some effort. I guess Friday night, 9:35, maybe 10 o'clock. We'll probably do the 10 o'clock after SmackDown. Oh, before we go, did you all see the segment with Roman and Cody?
I did.
A lot of people really loved it. At first, I didn't think too highly of it because just how overly fucking produced it was.
Right.
But in retrospect, with what they're trying to do with wrestling now, if that's what you're going to do, I guess that's the way you do it. I had other family members that really loved it. Was shocked that I didn't at first. It's not that I don't love it. I don't love it for what I know wrestling to be. For what anytime there's mood music in the background, you've ruined the fucking segment for me.
Right. So
if I'd have saw a bit backstage with Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee or Handsome Jimmy Vine, and there's mood music, you've now fucking ruined it.
They put that in there?
Why would you show up to the middle of a football field? It's like, of all the places to meet.
Oh, because that's his house at Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
I didn't even
that's
know
what-
he played for fucking Georgia Tech, and I bet you there's a lot of people at Georgia Tech didn't know Roman Reigns played for Georgia Tech.
Probably.
Apparently
They kept
he was
going,
pretty
who?
good.
I'm
What-
looking
what-
for
what-
Roman
what-
Reigns
what-
on the roster. I don't see him.
What position did Roman Reigns play at Georgia Tech?
He was a
He was
lineman, I'm
linebacker,
sure.
wasn't he?
And
That's fine.
I apparently was not paying close enough attention because Cody showed up in his Mustang, and I think being as they had access to the park, you could have just drove the cars to midfield. Could have just done
Yeah,
that.
well,
But
Roman showed up in the
7
in
SUVs,
the president.
7 SUVs,
Right.
And
Roman was a
because
defensive
apparently
tackle.
out of Cody's mouth, because I didn't see it, Cody says 7 SUVs. That's subtle.
Yeah.
And
It was the
and then he
presidential
gets out of-
entourage. But they had to have the Secret Service in like 3 of the cars.
I guess. One thing
The
I
body
do,
double in
what I
another
do, one thing I do like about Roman, I'm hoping to God we never see him in a suit. I'm so sick and fucking tired of wrestlers in
Wrestlers in
suits.
suits.
Samoa fucking Joe in a suit.
No.
When was he?
The new head
As
of
a
the-
commissioner, he shouldn't be wearing a suit.
yeah. If you're a commissioner, I'll cut you some slack for a suit. But no, Steve Austin threw on some bullshit tie, and that was as far corporate as he was going. He had some fucking bullshit tie around his neck, and that was it. But now Roman still fucking t-shirt, jeans, and shoes, and that's it. I don't know what the fascination is with wrestlers thinking they have to be in suits.
Well, that's
No.
they're so.
And
top of the
Cody half the time is fighting his fights in a fucking suit.
Yeah,
Well, if
Well, that's
you're
what Ric Flair used to do.
if the
saves on ring gear.
and ruins a lot of suits.
Well, yeah,
The ring gear will survive the fight. The suits normally do not.
just cheap suits.
So, but no,
Talk about some first world shit. He doesn't use the same shoes twice on TV.
who
Cody.
Cody doesn't.
Yeah, he buys every city he goes
Sorry
to. He
about
buys 3, 4, 5 new pairs of Jordans. So I guess that's a Ric Flair rule. Never wear the same shoes twice on television or some bullshit like that.
Whatever.
Well,
Man,
wait
I
a
still got
minute.
shoes from a year and a half
If he's always in a suit and dress shoes, why is he buying Jordans?
I don't know. That's kind of the new thing, though, is to wear like sneakers with suits.
He don't. He wears dress
Yeah,
shoes
he does
every
it,
time.
yours.
Yeah, I
Every
don't
time.
know, but that's just
You will not see him in a
Like
suit.
behind the
You will
scenes.
not see Cody in a suit with tennis shoes because that's Ric Flair wouldn't do that.
Oh,
Dusty
no.
Rhodes, when he was wearing a suit for whatever fucking reason, wouldn't do that.
He'd have boot on.
And, so yeah, I get the managers wearing a suit. You're the corporate CEO, you're the business, but you're the wrestler, you're the worker. You're the hired hand, and I like Cody's ring gear, dressed to fucking wrestle. You're a wrestler. You're a fucking wrestler.
At least he doesn't do the Seth Rollins thing.
Oh God.
I'd
Clown
almost
car exploded.
rather that. At least that's Seth's thing, and it's ridiculous. And then fortunately, he's the only one doing it.
What do you think he does?
It's not my thing, but at least it ain't a fucking coat and a tie trying to be somebody. When I start being somebody you're not, maybe that's who Seth is. I don't know. They got
There's a
me.
room in that house full of garbage clothes.
What's that?
I said, there's a room in that house just full of garbage clothes.
You would think.
What the hell do you do with
Yeah,
that
he
shit?
probably buys it and then puts it up on auction.
Yeah. The comments
would
were
be
way
good.
down. Comments were way down tonight. So maybe they're just trying to tell me we don't give a fuck if you die or not. Maybe.
Thank you,
that's
Billy
part.
Sellers, for being the person who talked.
Yeah. Yes. I'm glad somebody did.
Thank you, Dan Lindley. Thank you, TC.
Thank you,
for the
David
XD.
Barkley.
Thank
No
you,
badge, no
Jameson.
membership, just like the old days. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Broke ass, as always.
Yep, there you go. Doing his research, putting
Yeah.
over the Jewish hospital.
Spying
All right.
on the other shows.
All righty. Well, we've done all the damage we can do here. So you see the ways to donate if y'all would like to be of any help. And if you don't, well, there you got that option too.
We'll
And,
be back
we'll-
on Friday,
Friday night,
care or not.
whether you like it or not, we'll be here. Assuming I'm walking upright, we will be back here Friday night, 10 o'clock, right after SmackDown, about 10:05. Until then, I did say good day.